Welcome back to the second segment of Loveland Port Lone Ranger Show.
It's me.
And we are going over pocket listings. We're talking about numbers in the market, slowly improving. Get out there now, because I think another year or so from now, Bruce, we're going to talk about, yep, we told you, you should have bought something.
I just think I'm really hoping that we get this whole Iran thing straightened out sooner rather than later, because I think that honestly, they are just looking to disrupt our market right now.
Yeah.
And they're doing it.
What happens, Bruce, every time something happens, even with COVID, even with a terrorist attack, even with this dropping bombs, whatever it is, life still goes on and real estate still goes on, and the market will hold its breath for a little bit, but then it still moves.
When you're looking at the midterms coming up,
politics,
you got the Democrats wanting to redistrict Virginia, which is going to be listen, if that's not a scam, I've never seen it. Now they're talking about making Puerto Rico and DC a state so they can get more Democrat.
About that. They've been talking about that.
But you know what? People listen to that and they fall for it.
Yeah.
They fall for it. But it's actually screwing the Americans. That's totally screwing the Americans, because there won't be a Republican Party. The Republican Party will be a majority, and they already are.
Yeah. All right. So I want to go into pocket listings, Bruce. This is where I've gone to see some people, and they're calling me after 90 days. They fired their old realtor because nothing happened. And then I asked them, hey, did you know you were not in MLS? And they said, they said they had a network. Let me tell you, the best network to sell a home is the MLS. You're exposing, when you want the top dollar for something, Bruce, you don't run around in the back alleys whispering to the guy. Remember the old stereotype of the guy that opened up his trench coat and he had watches hanging from it?
Yes.
Remember that from the old black and white films? Yes. I'm dating myself, but it's just, you got to expose your house to everyone. So you got to prep it. You got to have it show. You got to have a good commission for the buyer's agent coming through.
Well, if you didn't listen to your advice going out of the gate, and you had a couple that could have been a potential buyer, and it just wasn't, you didn't listen to the agent on how to stage it properly, then that buyer may never come back. They go look at another property, and you lost that opportunity.
They bought it. And especially the past 4 years with high rates, what I have noticed, the properties that need some work, people are too busy working to pay that higher interest rate, or they don't have time for a project. They don't want that. So you've got to be reflected in that, in your marketing price
as you can possibly get.
But
you and I have talked about this, that when it comes to fixer-uppers, it's generally not cheaper to buy a fixer-upper. Generally not cheaper.
No.
People don't realize it's going to be double the amount of money that you think it's going to cost you. And you're a home investor and flipper too. So when you go into a project, you've got to be really careful on going into it as to how much work you think you need to put into it.
I don't see too many homes that are just totally trashed out there. Usually they're not. If they're not financeable, then you got the investors and the bottom feeders going after them, and you put an offer in, nobody from the bank calls you back if it is a foreclosure, if it is one of those, or even a short sale. But the pocket listings, I just think, and there's all kinds of variations now.
Explain what you mean.
This is where a realtor says, all right, I've got a network. I know everybody in this neighborhood. I know when they're going to buy. So how about I just hold on? We don't put it on. We don't let everybody access it. And there's a coming soon category that's in our MLS.
Well, you got Compass, and you got some Redfin and
trying to do their own directory
that are trying to eliminate it and keep those listings for that listing agent. I will tell you, people listening to this, that will be a bad deal for you if you have a realtor that takes your listing and then tries to sell it to just their own network. Here's what they're doing. All they're doing is trying to make more money for them. That's all they're doing. They're trying to double dip the deal. You don't care if you double dip the deal or not. If you have a buyer and a seller, you're trying to get what you can for that property and match a good buyer and a good seller.
Back to my original point.
You don't care if it's your buyer or not.
Expose it to as many people as possible, because that's what some of these companies are doing in a slow market. And this is where you got to watch, and just so make sure you're in the MLS, make sure you're marketed, make sure. I was checking with one guy, and he wasn't marketed. It wasn't marketed online because they didn't check the right box in the listing, and he's wondering what was going on. And literally, we fixed the house up a little bit. He spent a couple $1,000s on a $400,000 home. We listed it 15,000 higher, and I got 10,000 more than he was at before. So things like that. I've seen them with no commission to the buyer's agent. Change the co-broke. More people come look at it. Boom, sold.
Nobody's going to look at it with their realtor if they're not paying a real estate commission.
Just about, yeah. So you got to watch that. So if you want to avoid that problem, just call me at 407-352-8118. But don't fall for that trap of, oh, we've got a private network or coming soon.
Don't fall for it. Please don't fall for it.
Really works.
And don't sign a buyer broker agreement that locks you in. If you hire a real estate agent, you should be able to fire that real estate agent if they don't meet your expectations. And anyone that makes you sign that agreement is afraid that would happen. So they're locking you in and you can't fire them. You hire Cleve Loveland, he doesn't get fired, but he gives you an out. If you didn't like what he does for you, you can fire him you owe him no money whatsoever.
I've got 2 people right now waiting because their old realtor wants $1,000 on one and 1% on another one, which is over $3,000.
And it could last for 6 months.
And literally one complained to the broker, and the broker goes, all right, let me put you with a better agent.
Yeah.
No difference.
Within
no
their
change.
Own office.
No change. Yeah, because the broker technically has control of the listing. So be very careful, or just call me for your real estate plan and I'll help you with that.
What's your number?
407-352-8118.
Yep. Or call the loan arranger for any of your mortgage needs, purchase, refinance, new construction, helping a lot of folks with construction perms right now. Renovation loans seem to be popular with us right now. We've got FHA, conventional, and VA renovation loans. I'm doing reverse mortgages. Matter of fact, all realtors out there, I'm doing a reverse mortgage class on May 7th
Got
in
it on my
Winter
schedule.
Park.
Yep.
Say, now listen, this class is going to help you understand more about reverse mortgages, because here's another product that Cleve and I have always been very skeptical of. I've probably turned more people away from reverse mortgages than towards them, but I'm bringing in an expert. And if you and the general public is welcome, but you got to go to webringyouhome.com and register. Go to my calendar, webringyouhome.com, and register for May 7th in Winter Park, Florida. But I'm going to tell you something. You're going to get the truth behind reverse mortgages with no sales pitch. You're going to get all the details that you want. And then we can determine, is it right for you? Is it right for your family? Because typically the people that object to it are not the people that are in retirement and want the reverse mortgage. It's the family members. So bring the family members. But listen, I got limited room. I got like 100 seats in this, and I've got 3 or 4 different branches bringing their clients in on this with cross country. So you must register immediately. webringyouhome.com, or call or text me at 407-250-9144.
All right.
Okay.
I got a couple of starter homes here, Bruce, I want to talk about. I got 2 of them at $350.
Okay.
One's newer in Sanford, 20-foot ceilings, 2-car garage on a pond, 1,300 square feet.
Okay, nice.
And then I got one fresh paint, fresh carpet. It's funny, this house looked like a bomb went off in it. When I went to it, I thought it was a frat house, and I told the owner what he needed to do. I came back 2 weeks later, totally different house. I thought I was inside the wrong home. Did everything I told him to on the staging. We redid the landscaping outside, beautiful vinyl fence. You're looking at a nice little pond, private yard, cul-de-sac for $349. And then I've got one in Belle Isle for $349.
That's unheard of in Belle Isle.
1,800 square feet. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. It was originally a 3, 1.5 home at some point, and it's been renovated a couple years ago. Kitchen's been done, granite countertops, tile everywhere, no carpet. And somebody added a big master bedroom and a big living room on the back of it. Then there's also a big Florida room across the back of the house, 30 feet long, 15-foot ceilings in it. Just a nice house with a 1-car garage, so not a carport in that area. So that one's at $349 also. So those are 2 great starter homes and that's the price they're selling at. And they're gone pretty quick. So call me if you want to take a look at those.
Yeah. And if you want to get pre-approved for that, you have 2 starter homes that would be perfect for a first-time home buyer. Perfect. $350,000. You can go FHA. I can do my down payment assistance program with solar panels and get you in for literally close to no money out of pocket. In many cases, no money out of pocket. And you have solar panels, and the down payment assistance is absolutely eliminated. You don't owe it back after the solar panels are installed. I'm going to tell you something, folks. For all of you that are struggling with your cash out of pocket, what a great program. Then we've got regular FHA loans. Our FHA loans are superior. We do everything in-house. We are not brokering these things out. VA, purchases, refinances. These are your opportunities, folks, right now. If you have an interest rate and that interest rate is over 6.99%, and you're not on my VIP rate watch list, you aren't doing it right. I am here to help you and guide you as to when you should refinance. Every competitor is just going to tell you, hey, John, let's do it right now. I can save you money. My list protects you, and I guide you as to what rate is going to be the best rate for you to pull the trigger on.
I want to ask you, Bruce, opinion on the new Fed chief, Kevin Warsh.
Yes.
What do you think that's going to do to our rates? Is that
well, I can tell you right now, you have a 0.5% chance. That's less than 1% chance that you're going to see a Fed cut in the next meeting. Okay. And you have about the same for the one after that, I think is in June. And here's why. They've got inflation under control. They don't need to make a cut. But I know Trump is all about making a cut. I don't want a Fed cut. But you also have another cog in the wheel, and that is Powell, because Powell is saying that he's not going to leave the office because one of the other Fed members on the board is under investigation. And until that investigation is settled, he says he doesn't have to leave office. So here's a guy that's got his term is done. Another guy's ready to come in, and he says, I'm not going to leave.
I don't know if I do that with Trump. Trump will send Border Patrol in there to yank him out. But it'll be interesting, because actually when the Fed moves, usually rates tick up. If the Fed cuts,
if the Fed's cut, it can, because let's understand this, because a lot of people think we're crazy when we say this. When the Fed cuts the Fed rate, keep in mind mortgages are not tied to the Fed rate.
Yep, your HELOC
is tied to the bond market, the 10 and the 30-year Treasury bonds. Now, why does the Fed cut rates or increase rates? What are the purposes behind that?
Slow down the economy or speed up the economy?
Exactly. So if they cut the rates, they want to stimulate the economy. So when the economy's stimulated, do people spend more or less money? When the economy is stimulated, do they spend more money? When they spend more money, what happens to inflation?
Slows down.
No, it goes
up. Okay.
Because we're buying more goods. We're spending more money.
Yep.
So inflation goes up. So it has an adverse reaction on the bond market. See, this is why people hire me to do their mortgages, because their mortgage loan officers and their bankers do not understand the fundamentals behind this.
Yep.
I guide my clients in that direction. Now, this is not an always. There's never an always in our industry. We've got to cut to a break here, but there's never an always. But you have a loan arranger that's a geek when it comes to watching these and guiding my clients in the right direction. I spend a great deal of my day helping educate you. I don't sell you anything. I provide a great mortgage, great terms. We close on time. Realtors, if you're not using my services, you're missing out. You are truly missing out. 407-250-9144 for the Loan Arranger. That's 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com. Cleve, Loveland, what's your phone number and email?
407-352-8118 or cleveloveland.com. I'll be working all weekend.
Your website, not your email address, but you can call us. We'll give you our email address. By the way, that phone number of mine, that is a personal phone number. That is not a call center out of Mumbai or Pakistan or
live receptionist.
Or you get my voicemail and I call you back. Leave me a detailed message. I'd love to talk to you. 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com. Cleve and I will be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loveland Report and the Loan Arranger Show. We have more to talk about. I want to talk about the future of interest rates, but I also want to talk about the opportunities that I think many people are missing out on in today's market, including youth. Don't go anywhere. Cleve and I will be right back.